Kitten and baby owl meet for the first time, and their next move is too much for words. But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to HappyWorld, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories. Nobody else in the world seems to love cute animals as much as the people of Japan. In fact, cuteness, or kawaii, is actually a central cornerstone of the Japanese culture. And that's no more apparent than with one particular animal pair. Fuku is an owlet who calls a coffee shop in Osaka home. Recently, he met a new friend, and the bond they formed was 1 in a million. It's no wonder this adorable relationship is drawing attention from people around the world. Just wait until you see them. Ikulu Coffee Shop in Osaka, Japan has an unusual but beloved patron, a teeny owlet named Fuku. Unfortunately, hanging around a coffee shop can get pretty lonely. So when Marimo the kitten wandered in, they immediately formed a bond like no other. In the wild, owls and cats aren't exactly known for getting along. However, these two seem to be cut from the same cloth. Just look at the way they pose next to each other. They could be twins. Some cats need time to adjust to new friends, but this wasn't the case with Marimo. In just a matter of minutes, he was already glued to Fuku's side, and the little owl didn't seem to mind at all. They learned from each other early on that they had nothing to fear. They weren't afraid to get up close and cuddle. It was almost as if they realized that the other meant them no harm at all. The staff at the cafe couldn't believe their eyes when Marimo and Fuku started snuggling with each other. It was like they were long-lost siblings who had been finally reunited. Can you imagine being wrapped up in an embrace like these two cuties? It was clear that Marimo and Fuku loved to snuggle from the beginning of their friendship. Ever since the two met, they've become completely inseparable. Even when they weren't cuddling one another, they were often spotted sitting side by side or just taking in the sights around them. Before Marimo showed up, Fuku had some other owl buddies, but he never had a best friend in his own species, let alone one of the feline variety. Meeting Marimo turned him into an entirely new owl. Based on these pictures alone, it's safe to say that the feeling was mutual. Have you ever seen a kitten with so much love to give? It's like Marimo knew how much Fuku needed a true friend. In fact, these two became so close to each other, literally, that when they curled up for a cuddle, it was actually pretty difficult to tell where one of them ended and the other began. They were just a cute little ball of fur and feathers. It was all in a day's lounge. You'd think these two would get bored being in the same place all day, but as long as they were together, it was like they'd never run out of new ways to have fun. Sometimes Fuku could be a little grumpy in the morning, while Marimo was pretty much the ultimate early bird. Still, Marimo knew how to give Fuku a little space in the early hours. He was a night owl after all. Fuku obviously couldn't drink coffee to wake him up, but Marimo knew that once his owl buddy was up and at him, they'd go on their adventures once more. The kitty seemed perfectly content to wait for his friend to perk up. It was clear that wherever these two went, they would always have each other. The bond that they shared was absolutely undeniable and truly unique. Have you ever heard of an owl and a cat getting along so well like these two? While other animals at the cafe have found forever homes, the owners of the cafe made it clear that these two weren't going anywhere unless they were going together. These little guys made for the ultimate package deal. Whoever decided to adopt this dynamic duo would be providing a home for two very special fluff balls. They were incredibly well behaved, so what was there to lose? Why settle for adopting just one pet when you can have two who are so adorable and over the moon for one another? Cuddling was probably one of their favorite activities to do with each other. Even as the two grew older, they continued to share their extra special bond. If you saw Marimo lounging on a sofa, it was a safe bet that Fuku was nearby, keeping watch over his bestie. Meanwhile, living in the cafe was a real treat for them both, and it meant that they got the chance to enjoy desserts for special occasions. Just look at their super festive holiday celebration. It's strange to say that Fuku the owl and Marimo the cat would be best friends forever, even if that meant hanging out in strange places like the bathroom sink. Hooray for these two cuties. Wouldn't it be great if these two were the stars of an animated kids movie? Come on, Disney, you know you can make this happen.